Well, good morning to you. Good morning. She's sort of telling me that there's something needed to be done, and she doesn't mean I need to tidy up where I've been working. No, she means these three chaps want breakfast. Well, there we are, folks. It's coming up for 11 o'clock. Yeah, glued and screwed, and some people will say, was that necessary? No, it wasn't. You know, let's face it, at the end of the day, gravity will stop that from going anywhere. But you sort of think, right, okay, let's build in some redundancy. Let's make sure that it doesn't flex, bend, shift. So glued and screwed. Belt and braces. You know, I trust this with my life, which is more than I do for a lot of people. You know, I'm going to stand on this on a regular basis, and I don't really want to end up downstairs. So there we are. We'll call that job done. The next job, of course, with this is trimming it out and then putting carpet or carpet tiles or something. Well, that's not going to happen until after we've built a ceiling and a stud wall and all of the messy, because boy oh boy do we make a mess doing this sort of work. Sawdust everywhere. I'm going to put the kettle on, and while that's boiling I might just push the broom around a little bit. Yeah, I'm sort of chuffed with that. That's of course, putting period features in made it that little bit more difficult, but you know, if it wasn't difficult, anyone would do it, wouldn't they? But there we go. Right, let's go and deal with the kettle. Well, I've been looking at this job from underneath. It's not very pretty, is it? What that sort of needs is trimming in and well, it needs some insulation. It needs, yeah, not really insulation for temperature, just a bit of sound deadening. But it wants something to make that look pretty, I think. Now, fortunately, being the sort of bloke I am, a couple of months ago I went to the tip to throw things away, and a chap was chucking away a shelf. Now, I picked it up thinking it was firewood, and when I picked it up I realised it was heavy, and when I got it back here I had a look at it, and it's oak, and yeah, it's got a few problems. It's the edge bits were all a bit sort of nibbled with worm, so we've started giving it a going over. I've cut it down quite a large chunk. There's all the rotteny bits that I've cut off already. Something that I did learn is that 18-volt Black & Decker handheld saws don't really like cutting oak that is that thick. It's cut it, but I had to change batteries. But yeah, we'll give that a clean up, and we'll make a trim piece to cover that sort of structurally sort of nonsense. Really probably ought to do something about the thistles growing in the front garden, but you know what, I like them, and yeah, okay, every time I walk past them and spike myself I get a little upset by it, but I do like them. But better than whether I like them or not, with the thistles and the sweet peas, the wild sweet peas, the bees are having an absolute luncheon feast. So we'll leave them for now. Well, yeah, what are we going to do for the rest of the afternoon? Earlier on I showed how this all needed finishing, as it were, sort of pushing in with show. So I sort of thought what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix up a small amount of show and get up there and start making that good. Do you want to have a closer look? Let's have a closer look. Oh, up we go. Now, all of this needs filling and making a bit prettier, which means I want some odd bits of stone up here to use to push in those holes. I don't want to just push show in there. I want to sort of bulk it out with some bits of stone. So I sort of thought what I'm going to do, I'm going to bang a couple of screws into that so I can put a box of stone where I can reach it. I think that might be a good idea. Well, I've done a little bit. Must admit, up the top of that ladder, the sweat was dripping off my nose, and I thought, do you know what? That's enough for today. Just a little bit. We'll do a little bit more tomorrow, perhaps. Now, this is going to be a bathroom. That means that there's going to be a toilet, which means that there needs to be a pipe for the toilet to discharge into. And I'm about to go on a journey of discovery. Now, I've had a little sweep up. I knew that nice flat concrete was there. And this is the underneath of where the toilet is going to go. And my understanding is that underneath that concrete is the drain. Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Well, that was a Howard Carter moment, you know, breaking through and finding treasure. Not quite the treasure of Tutankhamun, but for me, a very important and very happy find. A plastic soil pipe. That is really good, because that means that it's a pretty straightforward, if smelly, job to cut a section out of that and to put a junction pipe in, and then to run a soil pipe up the wall there. Now, I deliberately haven't fixed this piece of floor or that batten, because when I was doing this I sort of thought, yes, that is where the soil pipe is going to go, that's where the toilet will be going. Yeah, pleased with that. You know, it's funny what sort of pleases people, isn't it? Oh, I found a drain. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it actually is very impressive, very pleasing. Dodgy old joke. How to confuse a miner. Lean 3 spades against the wall and tell him to take his pick. Yeah. Oh, that terrible joke, really. It's not really that funny either, is it? But there we are. That was a good thing to find. Okay, so now we're happy that we know how we're getting water out of the bathroom. You know, after we flush the toilet and run showers and things like that, we know where the drain is, we know where the pipe is going for that. But of course we've got to get water into the bathroom, and it's got to be through the corner of the wall there-ish. Now, So that means drilling a hole through that wall. Well, we've got a drill, and we've got drill bits. But here's the little problem. This is the wall that I've got to drill through. That is the drill bit. Well, that will be interesting, won't it? Well, as luck had it, the drill bit went straight through with a little bit of persuasion. Yep, happy with that. Need to make the hole a bit bigger to take pipe, but we went straight through, so yeah, yep, good.